There. I think that's all set, right? Yes, it is.
I already voted for this. What? I voted for your shit, but what do you mean I can't refuse the repeat question?
Vote again.
Forget about it.
Wait,
This bot's a real tyrant.
okay, there. Yeah, it rigs elections. You had to vote for it in order to get support.
Pulls out gun. You will vote for me.
Okay, but yeah. Let's... Everybody, it's critical. Let's fucking do this shit. Alright,
Oh
so...
my god.
Let's go. 12 hours of nearly 12 hours, not full 12 hours. Nearly 12 hours of recap. Let's go fast. What happened? Where do we start? What do we do? Hawk's gun puts on table. What do we do?
So the first thing I have written down was Alexander goes to the...
Thank you.
Alexander goes to the post office.
No distractions, go.
Alexander goes to the post office. He doesn't have a letter. I believe he was waiting for that. Going forward from there, Sajar ends up going at a bunch of dummies at the Slayer training ground, I want to say. Well, I guess it's Slayer Secret. Whatever. Aside from that, Oriana, Alexander, and... God, remember the name. Kasai, there we go. I'll go to Lord of Swaron. On the way there, Alexander discovers, oh, hey, the plant communication still works. That's a fun little thing. We head over there, and Alexander talks to the Lordess about what in specific? Basically, like looking into the fractured shard to see kind of like what
asking if she knows anyone that can work with it.
Yeah, and her response was, "I know a few, and we may or may not meet one of those people later." That's beside the point. I'm gonna close my door because my dog's barking constantly. The second I start doing
Oriana, again, had also gone with us, but she was asking after what the people that dropped her off at the cradle. Is that right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you learn?
Her home village kind of thing.
You had learned that your entire home village was somewhere else. Like what, went into a sinkhole?
It's currently in the bottom of a hole, it seems like, yes. Which may or may not have been purposely done as a means to hide evidence or steal gems from the earth. I don't know which one 100%, but I feel like it's probably one of those two.
Balrog in there.
Balrog. He's just chilling. There's a lot more specific details in there, but basically we get some information. Yeah, get some information about that, and we end up taking our leave after we meet Sauron's assistant, for lack of a better term. I can't remember their name. What's the doll's name?
Oh, yeah.
Iris.
What was it?
Iris.
Iris.
Like a flower or the thing in your eye.
Either way, mildly terrifying.
God of the Omnics.
Oh! Well, after that, they ended up taking their leave. A very important detail. I'm gonna mention this only because it's embarrassing. Alexander ends up accidentally almost saying Miss Udachi instead of Kasai. And there was some shit to be had about that, but it seems to have been smoothed over pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
He saved himself by acting like a doofus.
Basically.
The classic "you're my idiot" sort of move.
Well,
what's happening simultaneously?
Simultaneously, Sajar was training. Yeah, let's go training in the Slayer Secret compound. Silas and Anushka were just kind of vibing, chilling nearby, having a good time. And Blair was working on her stuff. And if you want to talk about that, you can.
Who are you addressing in this?
I was talking to Fred because he was popping in for a second, but I think he might be doing something else.
No, I just commented.
Yeah, you just said venting.
You good?
Yep.
Am I crazy? Did I like skip something? I feel like I skipped a page. Oh well, that's beside the point. Oh, there it is. I did skip a page, turns out. Yes. While Sajar was practicing, he ends up sparring with Snack Slayer. We did not get his name this time. Just an update on that. Snack Slayer ends up taking his leave, and a different Slayer. Slayer? I think she's a Slayer. I don't think we got a specification. Regardless, Another individual shows
Slayer.
up. Yeah. And starts challenging him to like an all-out fight. Just like no holds barred, just go at it, because the idea is like she's gonna hit you with questions and you're gonna respond just basically instinctually, because it ends up kind of like showing off what your heart's focus is on. Yes.
Yeah, the youngest Slayer captain. She was in Blair's Memento Mori.
Yeah. We got to that.
Yeah, so Blair's the youngest Seeker captain. Captain Annika is the youngest Slayer captain.
Yeah. They have a bit of a heart-to-heart. Kind of reminds them of Rodane.
Yeah, I can't imagine why. That's crazy talk. Even though she used a similar trick as Rodane, that's
crazy. I think Sajar had some emotional breakthrough there, just a bit. After that, Snack Slayer shows up with chocolate, and I'm only mentioning this because, I think y'all had to roll some persuasion checks to have Blair take a chocolate, and it worked.
Fucking worked.
Let's go, chocolate. That's why I wrote emotional damage chocolate in my notes. MA. There it is. Okay. After that, they end up taking their leave. We all meet back up at the house that we're kind of just bumming at. I thought we were gonna like go to a hotel, not a hotel, but like an inn after like one day. We have apparently decided now.
Yeah, we're already staying in a fucking mansion. Why
yeah, like. It's a point of like I don't want to put them out, but also they're a lord, so they're probably fine.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we all go back there conveniently around the same time, off by a couple minutes. Come into Zal freaking out over Deet because Deet kind of not passed out, but just like lost capability while they were like out hanging about, and then when they brought it back, she's kind of like lucid to a degree. Like she's kind of there, kind of not.
Yeah.
After everyone in the group kind of trying to figure stuff out and figure out what's happening and kind of determine blood magic, and with the assistance in quotation marks of Scavola, she kind of like leads us to the thought process of like it's kind of a spell that's being triggered by her brother, but the power is coming from, I think it was basically just like her blood sugar itself. So it was like slowly eating away at her body, but it was like a constant drain kind of thing.
Fantasy diabetes?
Yeah,
I think someone actually brought that up. I think about it.
Yeah.
Yo, your brother's a dick, Dorky.
We'll just send her that snippet of the recap.
I messaged her the other day. She hasn't responded back. She's doing alright, though.
Oh. Letter. Yeah. So we kind of figure out that, and it's like, okay, we just need to keep her like nourished, and she'll be fine. But we can't really take her on an adventure in this case, so we need to like kind of figure out what to do with her.
You guys can take her on adventures in the same way you can take Delvin on adventures. Just don't put her in anywhere in the line of fire and probably fly, because she does still maintain, fight or flight reflex. She has her fine motor functions. I misspoke on that before because she obviously has the capability of moving and grabbing and stuff like that. Finer motor functions. She just doesn't have a critical thinking capability. There you go.
Okay. We should put her in Dovet's backpack.
Oh, of course, sure. Right.
I don't think he has the strength to carry a human being.
Yeah.
And
Give her to Zol's backpack. Yeah, keep going.
Zol gets a Charlie Manson cannon. But anyway, what happened after that?
After that, Delvis? I was about to do a ship name, apparently. Delvit and Tolis end up showing up.
It's about to Elvis now. Yeah, so Delvin and Tolis show back up. Yeah.
Delvit is kind of distant and trying not to, I guess, show much emotion on this. Tolis looks like she's about to break down like any second. We don't immediately question that. We do get into talk about that in a minute. Aside from that, we hear... Oh! Forgot about this. The first group that came back, which was Silas' group, they ended up seeing a note on the door that said... I can't remember specifically what it said, but it said basically...
Just FEW, right?
Yeah. It was basically meet up early in the morning. And,
meet in the morning
go
at
to
the few.
And we're like, what the fuck is that? And Zal was just like, oh yeah, I heard about that. It was a weird name. It was, what was it? The Fire, Earth, and Wind. But everyone just shortened it down to the few. And it's like, oh, okay, so it's like a tavern.
He commented on it being a shit bar name. There's no qualifier after it.
Name?
There's no adjective before it. It's pretty lame.
I
as far as
agree.
bars
If it's
go.
the full name, if you shorten it down, the few is actually kind of catchy. Just a little bit.
You guys can fight Zal on that.
He has experience. I'm not going to. We end up saying, hey, there's a number of us that Bellamy doesn't know is in our group, including like Alsander, Varric, told us if they wear a disguise, which I think they picked some like STEM Ken individual, if I remember correctly. So we decide, hey, these guys can head out, check that place out. So they go do that. Everyone else has some small conversations, but we'll get back to those guys later. They head off to the View, go check it out, do some spy work, and kind of discover an entrance to the basement. The upper floor has some escape access, how big the basement is, like actually very valid details. I'm going to ignore most of that, and we're going to talk about the crazy bitch.
Yeah, okay.
There are some very important details in there. I could go over it if you want, but we're trying to be speedy. Fuck. I can't remember Alex or Alisander's fake name, but
Coulter Barrett? You mean my new character?
No, I do not mean your new character.
Wait, let's bring it over. Let's bring it over. Change. Oh wait, no, this is the new one. Wait, hold on. Okay. Keep going.
For a second.
While he's doing that, he ends up interacting with a character named Altani, who is looking for her soulmate in the form of a rival. She wants to beat the shit out of someone respectfully and have like clashing of steel at all times.
Again, like they will just fight each other and make each other better, like Goku and Vegeta shit.
I can't describe how fucking insane this character is, and we all love them, but like Loki, it's like
the unanimous vote is not to take her along.
Yeah,
no.
Don't worry. Don't worry. I've accounted for this. That's why I need to do. That's why I need to do some research.
Oh God, no. Alisander in disguise ends up basically pointing her off in the direction of Wolfgang Coulter. I don't want to commit the name to memory.
Yeah,
Coulter ends up pointing her off in the direction of Wolfgang, who's in the Heartlands, which is also like way fucking far away from him. So we don't.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think he'll be there by the time she gets there. Like,
no, probably not.
Yeah, it's like so far.
But I planted the seed. She'll find the trail.
True.
Yeah, I don't think Wolfgang's hard to find if you're looking for him.
Yeah, it depends.
Keep
going.
Sends him off in that direction. I think that's about it for stuff in there was a bump in with a silver blood hunter, but it was more just a brief glance at each other.
Yeah. He was just kind of there.
Just vibing,
sad.
chilling.
He's sad.
The barkeep. So, cutting back to you.
Choked on my spit. Fuck.
Kind of during this. You good?
Choked on my spit from laughing. Keep going.
Okay. While this is happening, Sajar and Delvit are having a little heart-to-heart, with, I believe, America and Vaso also being there. They didn't say a ton, but they were there for, like, moral support. And you know what? That's all you need sometimes. Basically, Delvit gives a rundown of, hey, like, we don't know exactly what happened. If it was just the Voidic influence being repressed or staying repressed for a little while we were testing it, or being exposed to Voidic Zone, or some other dozen different factors that it could be. But
I'm gonna interject one thing here as part of retcon stuff. Anushka was in the room to hear all this, as we've confirmed with Kirsty, so that's fine.
There. Anushka was there. But yeah, there's not 100% fact of like what caused it, but all he really knows is that the Voidic stuff is happening again, like it's starting to resurface, and is slowly kind of degrading him back to like what he used to be from what
just like cancer.
Just like
now I think about Delvin really is just a sort of analogous story for a cancer patient, huh?
Basically.
Oh no.
I will interject one. I will interject one detail. Varric did speak with Sajar about helping Isadora by modifying, upgrading, repairing her equipment in the real world, so maybe it has a transitive property into the dreaming world. No clue if that's a theory, by the way. He doesn't know like bearing or like evidence for that. It's just a theory, but it's something, right? Anyways,
Okay.
moving on. So
logistical. I put 2 regular healing potions in her backpack.
yeah. Oh, speaking of looking at her backpack, roll me an investigation. In the meantime, keep going.
Right.
So they have that moment. Sajar kind of hits him with some real shit and rolls really bad on investigation. And I think the comparison was after the conversation, Delvit went from -1 to a 0. Not a positive, but a 0. You can work with 0. Aside from that, I didn't write down any information from talking as Oriana. That makes sense. I was in the moment. I wasn't paying attention. Well, I was paying attention, but I wasn't writing notes. Anyways, Oriana accrues a number of people, namely Kasai, Marika, Vaso, and talk to them about the whole village thing, as well as Scavola, and how that whole shit is going. Basically, just like trying to get input from other people that weren't there, and to figure out and understand like what to potentially do next. And during that, Vaso and Marika just kind of keep like looking at Scavola doing odd things and looking at each other and being like, "We'll talk about that later." And then Scavola does something else odd. It's like, okay, this is getting weird. And it's kind of revealed that Scavola has been, the one in her head has been basically isolated, and the terminology I used was like mutating in a way, because like just being exposed to Oriana more, so she's just changing from what the original Scavola is. And she was fucking pissed. She was so mad. Oh my god.
She just wanted 3 hours in your body to go fight Tertiana. That's all.
I don't think it would be 3 hours. I don't think Oriana's body could last that long. Wait, hold on. Don't take that out of context.
You're the one that brought it up, so congratulations. Moving on.
Yeah.
But yeah, you did speak with all of them. Scavola peculiarities aside.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of about it. Vaso's able to read through documents pretty quickly, but that's because he's like was growing up reading those documents very quickly, but that's the point. During all this, Silas ended up going for a walk by themselves. They seemed like they just wanted to clear their head. Which, man, that had some context. So, they go for a walk, go out to the garden. I think at first they disguise self into Cathal, and their Shadow Clone no Jutsu, what is it? Fucking Copycat, that's what it's called.
Yep.
Copycat ends up showing up. Not summoned by Silence or anything, just appears. Just there. Which is weird.
Like a nuisance.
Yeah. And basically, Silas gets dunked into an inverse world, where Cathal's there. And he's just hanging out, having a great time. Go through the whole story up until about the time where Silas goes into Berfadir and sees the conclusion of Cathal's story. Promptly ignores that, and then instead goes on an adventure. They go, I believe they walk off towards the ocean to go hang out on the beach and by a cove and stuff like that. Meanwhile, we are visited by the lieutenant, who says, hey, bring people who are, what's the terminology she used? Not emotionally
Compassionate.
Compassionate.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically she finds us and is like, hey, your friend's fucking talking to themselves.
In the
And
garden.
and it's really annoying the shit out of everyone else.
Yeah, it's really
annoying.
Deal with it. It's really fucking annoying.
It's really creepy. Please
Get a
fix it.
handle on your fucking cat.
Are they chipped? Did you spade them?
Keep going.
Does your cat
So
have
we
vaccines?
went and found Silas, who was at the time that we happened upon them. They were just sitting on a bench talking to themselves, but in their mind, they were sitting on a bench talking to Cathal. I think either like right outside Berfadir or at a beach or whatever. At one point, I can't remember if this was before or after we happened upon them, but Nina was prompted to roll an int save or a charisma save.
And she chose to fail the int save willingly.
Yeah,
Which was fun as fuck.
Yeah.
Lose yourself to your own dreamscape world. It'll be fun. Smile.
Good player anyway.
Yeah.
We tried to break them out of their out of this illusion that they were under. A few different ways. Alessander shot the bench next to them, where Cathal would have been in their mind, he thinks, which didn't work. And I think what was
I like that approach. I like that approach, though.
Yeah, because Cathal's trying to talk to them, and it's hard to talk over gunshots. What is the spell that Alessander was hit with for that?
Dissonant Whisper.
Was it Dissonant? Yeah, Dissonant Whispers. I think that was the main one that was used on us, Sajar especially.
Sajar went through some shit, dude.
3 rounds of personally tailored mental or emotional damage.
Chocolate.
Oriana tried, I think, taking Silas by the hands, right? Or is that Sajar?
I think a number of you guys tried.
Yeah, a lot of people had interactions with Pat.
I tried multiple times.
Eventually, I think the one that
times.
I think the tactic that worked was bullying them.
No.
Weirdly enough, yes. Adding in retcon per what I posted in company chatter, Anushka did also get in on the bullying method. Let that be known.
I mean, hey, they bullied her back, so in fairness.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's a cycle of violence.
Yeah, so what we learned from that little therapy session is we should bully each other because it's more effective. There we go. Anyways, keep going. Unless that's all there is to say. Question mark?
Garth, you have the notes.
Oh, now you want my... No.
I'm just going off memory.
Fair enough. Yeah, so a lot of people tried a lot of things. The ones that seemed the most effective were Sajar, definitely, then Alessander, and then I guess Anushka places there too, because anything Oriana did not help in the slightest. In fact,
Alessander only tried one thing.
Yeah, but it didn't actively hurt one of your companions.
The funniest shit ever, Anushka getting hit with the Dissonant Whisper beating! Get decimated!
You're being assaulted by children!
So highlights are Sajar seeing 3 different dark visages. One for Isidora, one for his grandfather, one for his sister and her child, Red Wedding style. Anushka did suffer the punishment, only a round or so of decimation. And Oriana got to watch. That's fun. Let's see. Alessander got hit with the Attack on Titan gif of seeing all the people that have died under his command. That's fun.
And I passed. I passed the save. I'm over it.
He looks up at them and is like, who are you?
Yep. So yeah, that's some fun times. In the meantime, in the dreamscape, what was Silas viewing? Let's say a post-Cove, because that's definitely where some shenanigans happened, as reality began to be peculiar, anomalous in that fake world of theirs. What happened after the Cove? What's it like?
I'll just go because need not say anything. They end up walking towards basically a bar. Is the best way to think about it. Like, several stories. As they're going there, they happen to pass by. Oh, would you look at that? It's Alessander with Lady Bellwether. Just having a great time. Hanging about. Fun fact, he rolled an intelligence save, I believe, and passed. If he failed, Kasai would be there, and they would just have a great time.
Yeah.
Well, no, he passed. If he failed, Kasai would have been there.
Yeah, you know what I meant. Yeah, and it was slowly integrating Alessander into their story, and then Sajar, along with Isadora, who are now married, into the story, and then Oriana shows up from an underground fight club in the story. Basically, was integrating everybody else that was integral in their life into this story to try and make them want to stay longer. Meanwhile, the actual us are trying to not have that happen.
Y'all are getting dissonant whispered and cutting words.
Stop it.
Seeing visages of your worst counters. It's great.
It's very interesting juxtaposition.
It's very
Whiplash, baby.
Mm-hmm.
And
it was very fun having you guys roleplay both sides of the we're getting fucked up and also hey, let's stay a while, like Coraline style.
Yeah, the fucking award goes to Fred for in about 100%. 5 seconds swapping between I'm dying emotionally to you should have gone to the wedding. I'm sorry you missed
it. Ragged, heavy breathing, emotionally traumatized Sajar to pompous, I'm rich as all fuck, and with the love of my life, having the best time of my existence, Sidar. 10 out of 10. Fei Chong Hao.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the one line that actually like got Silas to decide to come out of it, TM, that he switched from, or he was, I don't remember exactly what it was, but
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of switching out of it, Silas in their head basically gets like just an overload of everything going on. Cathal there, all your friends being there, but things being off, little notes being odd, occasionally hearing the voices of your friends saying, hey, come back to us, kind of shit. Eventually they just shout stop. The entire world pauses, it loses all of its color except for Cathal. And Silas has to have this emotional moment where they have to kind of let go of Cathal and say like, I'm so sorry. And Cathal says like, it's fine. Or I forgive you, I think was the specific words. And eventually the world kind of collapses.
I'll put a asterisk on the I forgive you part because it was a question to need not out of game because that depiction of Cathal is based out of Silas's own self-perception.
Right.
So Cathal would only forgive Silas if Silas can forgive Silas, which I believe Nina, you said Silas wasn't there yet. So
nope.
A halfway forgiveness, we'll say.
Whoa.
But yeah, you eventually Silas did come back out to the waking world, so to speak. And then we see all this dumb hugging shit. Dumb hugging shit. Except Alexander, who saw Varric slipping away around the corner.
Yeah. I think, oh yeah, Abigail was in for that.
Spook.
I think sometime near the beginning of this whole thing, we sent a runner, and this was a runner, to go contact Tertiana, who, as Silas came out of this, appeared and kind of gave, after freaking out at me like, what the fuck is happening, kind of explained to us what she thinks happened. Which...
It's just speculation.
Yeah, an idea. It's a Spartic magic that's very heavily based off of emotions, from a person who is repressing all of their emotions into a little box. Combined with Tertiana's innate magical capabilities when they were interacting earlier in the day, caused this kind of magical buildup that kind of exploded in this manifestation. And... God damn! That's all I have to say about all of that. It's just like, god damn.
And then you went the fuck to sleep. The end.
Basically.
That's what we could say for us as players after nearly 12 hours and your characters. Because, yeah, fun times.
Also, we're sorry.
So, let us not spare any time getting back into it. We've spent a pretty good amount of time on a 12-hour recap. That was very good. Congratulations. So, let me change the music. We begin session the next morning. We'll go for some Oblivion music. Oblivion music's classic.
It's always good.
Actually, no, this is too happy. Wait, hold on. God damn it.
Just a warning, I might have to dip in a couple of minutes to go find my dog.
That's fair.
Semi-dip.